Charter schools, a better education or a profit machine for private companies? That debate is our top story at 5. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Greg Adeline. Jane has the week off. Mark Schauer, the Democratic candidate for governor, recently went on a social media tirade criticizing charter schools for taking advantage of Michigan students. Joe Khalil sat down with the candidate as well as officials who represent charter schools to find out exactly what's fact and what's fiction.
We saw a charter school.
Gubernatorial candidate Mark Schauer says he solidified his view of charter schools when a for-profit company built one in Muskegon and closed its doors after 1 year, but not because their students were failing.
This is his quote, was they were not able to make a profit. Now, there's something not quite right with that statement.
Schauer says Michigan leads the nation in the number of for-profit companies that run charter schools. Each charter district gets state funding. Schauer says there isn't enough transparency in how they spend it.
They're recruiting our kids for a reason. They're making money. And here's the kicker. It's hurting our public schools.
He specifically points to one company, National Heritage Academies, the state's biggest charter operator, which he says made $30 million last year from lease deals. After a year-long investigation, the Detroit Free Press reports NHA charged 14 schools more than $1 million each for rent space.
How do they justify charging a school so much money?
You have to look at proportionality. There's a lot more in those leases and contracts than just the facilities cost.
Dan Quisenberry represents the state's 300 charter schools. He says there is accountability, pointing out each district has authorizers who make sure schools are managed correctly. And those authorizers closed 60 last year.
So they're actually doing their jobs and holding people accountable. The question you might want to ask is that happening with traditional public schools?
Nonetheless, Schauer said, when it comes to education, the word profit is a pitfall. In Lansing, Joe Khalil,